You think you've got my number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome, 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 folks, to the Wednesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that, folks. Let me get started. Quad Bennett, welcome. Moanep, welcome. Bebe, welcome. BB, is it Bebe? Baby? Ah, baby. Ha! I got it. All right. Took me a second there. Liberation Day. It is Liberation Day, folks. Rejoice, okay? Rejoice for the grand leader. The grand leader, Donald J. Trump, has decreed that today is Liberation Day. BB, gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you. Hope you're doing all right. The great leader has decreed that today is Liberation Day. What that really means is that economic downturns are ahead. Donald Trump has made a huge spectacle about these tariffs in the Rose Garden just about an hour and something ago. And essentially, he's not backing down out of these tariffs. He's deadly serious, and the economy will suffer. We, as the working class, will suffer. Tariffs, by definition, are inflationary, so expect things to go up. Basically, like anything that you can think of will probably be more expensive now. Anything like from commodities to food to cars, everything is expected to go up. Now, I'm not going to sit here and play the entire speech because I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. But we will go over just brief, we will go over an article as a TLDR because I'm not watching that speech. I'm not watching that speech. All right, folks, let's get started. Before we do so, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys being here in the chat. Thank you. If you want to support the channel, there are many different ways of doing so. Keep hitting that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's 344 of you that have already done so. So I appreciate that. If you want to keep up with the channel, make sure you hit that Discord. And to support the channel, subscribe to the Substack. Keep doing what you're doing if you're on the Twitch. Follow us here. If you want to support the channel directly, hit that exclamation mark merch and tip button. Magoki, no firms are going to build production or another on another continent for the fun of it. It's a multi-million billion-dollar investment somewhere that consumers won't have purchasing power. Yeah, I mean, it's we're screwed. You know, the sad part is watching. The sad part was I stopped watching when the UAW workers, right? The UAW workers were cheering this on. That's the saddest part. I think that's when I stopped watching. And that was kind of very early on in the speech. Is watching the UAW workers cheer this shit on, as if that's not going to put them on the chopping block down the line either, right? Like, destroying the economy eventually will affect you too. Those 50 years of cope showing itself. Yep. Yep. All right, folks, let's get started. I guess we should probably start on that topic. Trump ends Liberation Day. Like, this is just so freaking cringe, man. This is so freaking cringe. Liberation Day suspense with new 10% worldwide tariffs and additional tariffs for certain countries. The White House unveiled a two-step tariff approach as Trump's long-awaited, quote, Liberation Day, like war is peace, freedom is slavery, right? Liberation Day plans were released during the Rose Garden event at the White House. The president will impose a baseline tariff of 10% on all countries with additional tariffs to be added on top for what the administration considers the, quote, worst offenders. The president said those additional rates, calculated both based on tariff but also non-tariff barriers that Trump has long bemoaned. Trump has held up a chart at the event with the additional rates he has planned. Atop of the list was China, which is set to receive a 34% tariff in a list that spanned dozens of countries. The European Union was second on the list with 20% duties. To the many clamoring for protection, Trump said, I'd terminate your own tariffs and drop your barriers. Trump said the tariff calculations were actually half of the cheating his team found. He said he could have gone higher. He called this approach kind reciprocal. And here's the list of the tariffs. Charlie Martini, welcome. China at 34% for the reciprocal tariff rate. European Union 20, Vietnam 46, Taiwan 32, Japan 24, India 26, South Korea 25, Thailand 36, Switzerland 31, Indonesia 32, Malaysia 24, Cambodia 49%, the UK 10%, South Africa 30%, Brazil 10%, Bangladesh 37%, Singapore 37%, Israel, Singapore 10%, Israel gets 17%, the Philippines 17%, Chile gets 10%, Australia gets 10%, Pakistan 10%, Pakistan's 29%, Turkey is 10%, Sri Lanka 44%, and Colombia 10%. Fantastic. Trump released the details before the vice president, the top officials, cabinet officials, congressional leaders, as well as other workers he said that will benefit from his policies. This is what I was talking about, the UAW. The dramatic move, if it holds, could reorient the global trading system for decades and represent the climax of Trump's decades-long focus on tariffs and unfair trading relationships that he says has led to America being ripped off. It's unclear what he means by unfair trade relationships, because I don't think he understands quite how this works. But okay. There will be complaints from the globalists. Oh, no, Trump said on Wednesday, claiming every prediction our opponents have made 30 years have been wrong. Wednesday's announcement marks a middle ground of sorts between competing tariff approaches that the president has been weighing and have been debating within the administration in recent weeks. China, on top of the first tariffs Trump put on, plus the additional one Biden implemented, so it's closer to 60% plus. Yeah, get ready for all, like literally everything to be more expensive. I mean, like, tariffs are a inflationary policy by default, by definition, and assuming that you implement them the way that they're supposed to be used as a tool to encourage domestic production, it would stand to reason that you already have a baseline to kind of switch to domestic production, but we do not have that. Trump says this is going to inspire domestic production, but that's not how that works. That's not how that works. You're not going to magically start seeing more factories pumping out stuff. Yeah, there's no baseline to increase for sure, right? So like this whole thing is just like it's just like an economic like nuke, essentially what this is. For all intents and purposes, like the best way I can describe this is just like an economic nuke. Because like there's no domestic production. That the infrastructure hasn't been prepared, which would take years, right, before you can prepare the amount of production needed to kind of just switch and say like, okay, we don't need to import whatever we're going to tariff from China, whatever we're going to tariff from Colombia, whatever we're going to tariff from the EU or whatever. This is just like a disaster. That's what this is. A complete unmitigated disaster. One early plan had focused on levying different differing duties for each country, while another focused on a flat universal rate that Trump had pushed on the campaign trail. It's really a crude way to drive money into Treasury at low interest rates and start the poverty draft. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, like, it's not like he cares about re-election, right? Who cares? Who cares if in like a couple months, you know, the plebs don't have neither bread nor circus? I think that that would be irrelevant how popular he is. I don't think he plans on caring about how popular this is going to be in a couple months. But as you said, you know, who cares? It might not even matter. Maybe we'll find ourselves in another kinetic quagmire down the line. I think the president has two primary objectives, said Kellyanne Shaw, partner at Hogan Lovis and Trump's deputy assistant for international economic affairs. In his first term, said in a Yahoo Finance Live appearance on Wednesday. The first is about leveling the playing field, and the second objective is to lessen trade deficits while leaving trading partners guessing. But like, who cares? If the United States is like a net importer, who cares? Like, why does the trade deficit matter? It's a misunderstanding or ignorance of how this works. Remember, we wanted them to build factories because we didn't want the dirty air and pollution, and those factories would create great. Well, we won't be able to breathe, but we'll make the stuff. I mean, that's even like that's remained. That's going to remain to be seen either. Like, I don't see, you know, like the United States all of a sudden just like gearing up to start like manufacturing on a large scale to kind of like offset these tariffs, right? Because it would be one thing if like you would see the plans or like the groundwork for the United States to kind of like start like production at home, but it's not there. Like, it's just not happening. And having these tariffs is not going to inspire, you know, this at all. That's not how this works. Wednesday's highly anticipated unveiling comes at a delicate moment for the economy and the markets, with stocks facing volatility for weeks on ever-changing tariff news, and also indications of this next announcement will quickly end investor uncertainty. Worldwide retaliation to Trump's plan have already been promised, with nations like Japan, China, and South Korea even making plans to team up and jointly respond to Trump's move. Capital Economics said in a note on Wednesday that uncertainty may remain in the stock market even after today, judging by the president's mercurial approach to imposing tariffs. Wednesday's tariffs unveiling coming at a fraught moment when Trump politically following a weaker than expected GOP showing in special elections on Tuesday, with the Senate set to vote later this evening on a resolution to undo Trump's Canada tariffs. The wariness with tariffs is deep enough that at least a handful of Republicans are set to join Democrats in voting for the resolution against the White House. Welcome to Ferris Bueller. Welcome, Michael Hasser. They don't like the tariffs either, said Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Yet the administration appeared undaunted on Wednesday, with Trump appearing triumphant as the long-awaited announcement finally commenced, with the White House saying the president had secured about $5 trillion in new company investments since taking office, and the White House pushing out a fact sheet about how, quote, tariffs work. Oh, come on. I gotta see this. For Trump, as he put it on Wednesday, it was, quote, promises made and promises kept. Yeah, sure. Well, Hooters just went bankrupt. Maybe they'll start making buffalo wings. Let's check out this fact sheet. For the first time in decades, the United States will see fair trade as President Trump announces tariffs to level the playing field for American workers and businesses. Despite the rhetoric from, like, literally everyone else, studies have repeatedly shown tariffs are actually inflationary. Excuse me, an effective tool for achieving economic and strategic objectives, just as they did in President's first term. A 2020 study on the effect of President Trump's tariff in his first term found that they strengthened the U.S. economy and led to significant reshoring in industries like manufacturing and steel production. A 2023 report by the U.S. International Trade Commission, which analyzed the effects of President Trump's 232 and 301 tariffs on more than $300 billion of U.S. imports, found that the tariffs reduced imports from China, effectively stimulating more U.S. production of the affected good, and had very minor effects on the downstream prices. Which study is this? Oh. Yeah, so this is a highly biased. I mean, like, I don't think like we need to go very far, right? To to kind of use some deduction here to realize what how this is playing out here. Trump's America First trade policy. Howard Lutnick goes big on reciprocal tariffs. CPA, which is this, praises Trump's administration universal tariffs. Yeah. Sure, bud. No bias here. Okay. Where'd my little fact sheet go? Okay, here we are. Okay. An analysis by the Atlantic Council found that tariffs would create new incentives for U.S. consumers to buy U.S.-made products. No, because there are no U.S.-made products in the same bulk that you would find. Like, there's no U.S. production to make this, like, a reality. Like, also, tariffs are, again, inflationary. And not only do they increase prices for just like imports, right? But they also increase prices domestically. You don't think that domestic producers, to the extent that there are, will not increase their prices? Like, if I had I don't know, a screwdriver that's imported from China, and that screwdriver now costs $20, right? But like the American screwdriver costs I don't know, like $6, then the American producer is going to be like, well, I can sell it for like $10 or $15, undercut the $20 screwdriver, but the prices still go up, dude. I was kind of bummed that he didn't say he was creating the External Revenue Service, otherwise known as Customs. Former Biden Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen affirmed last year that tariffs do not raise prices. I don't believe that American consumers will see any meaningful increase in the prices that they face. That's bullshit. Like that. This is what's being listed as facts. This is the fact sheet that we're being kind of like that we're being sold. That's bullshit. And anyone who understands how this works, how tariffs works, know that this is bullshit. Okay? Prices go up regardless, as I just explained, like in this hypothetical example. Because like tariffs don't just increase prices for foreign products, they increase prices on domestic goods too, because the people that are selling domestically will increase their prices naturally. Again, the example being that screwdriver, right? Like the hypothetical. If I have a product, it doesn't have to be a screwdriver. If I have a product, right, that I make in America, and my American cost to sell that product to the consumer is like $5, but now the tariffs have made my foreign counterpart like 20. I'm gonna increase it to like 15, right, and still undercut my foreign competition by $5, but I increased the price by 10. Ladybug, welcome. Yeah, again, with this like bullshit Coalition for a Prosperous America source. So that's cool. So just to be sure, Trump is tariffing everything from a country at a specific level. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. This is what this is what's happening right now. A list of all of these countries are getting tariffed based on like I don't know vibes, I guess. Um, so yeah. Trump's trade war can make the Trump recession a reality. 100%, dude. And this is, by the way, like in 2019. Uh, so yeah, I mean, the extent of the damage that these tariffs could do as the longer they go will be self evident, right? Like we're all gonna feel this. We're all gonna feel this as these set in for real. So yeah, they are a happy day of liberation, I guess. Um, Israel got their own tariffs, but not as much. Israel got on the lower end. Israel got on the lower end. They got what, 17? 10%? Yeah, they got 17%. Russia didn't get anything. I didn't even see this on the list. Russia trade has decreased by 90% anyways. Oh, he didn't mention them in the presser? No, probably he definitely would not mention them in the presser. Uh this is just kind of like a behind the scenes like, yeah, there you go. Cuz that's his buddy. That's his buddy. That's right. That's right. Happy Liberation Day, everyone.
Well, it may finally be happening. Elon Musk's time in government may be coming to an end, as Politico is reporting that Trump has already told his inner circle that time is coming to an end for Elon Musk. So I'm going to get to more details of that story in a minute here.
I think what's happening here, I don't know if I understand this correctly, I think Elon Musk is has a time limit to be a quote special government employee or whatever. So I think that's what's happening here. Right. He was gonna dip by 120 days. Okay, so that's the limit. Yeah. So he had his days numbered. I guess like the story would be like he's not getting that special government employee status renewed, I guess.
Discuss what led up to this news, because there are very few times that I want to be on social media. But last night was a time to be on social media, as people were dunking, laughing, rejoicing at the fact that Elon Musk poured so much time and money and effort into this race for the Supreme Court in Wisconsin and lost.
Yeah, that is like a W in and of itself, okay? Like that is the story of the night with regards to these like special elections. And it really shows that like together we can stop a billionaire from trying to purchase a state Supreme Court seat.
Lost bigly, as Trump would say. That it was just a beautiful thing to witness. So as New York Times reports here, nobody expended more political capital in the Wisconsin Supreme Court contest than Mr. Musk, with the possible exception of the candidates. He invested at least $25 million to elect Judge Schimmel, posted about it seemingly nonstop on a social media platform, gave money to voters who signed a petition or posted photos in front of polling places, and came to the state for a rally where he handed out a pair of $1 million.
What a freaking loser. They're really not good for each other now. It made Trump a loser and Tesla tanks.
Checks. I still don't know how this is legal, but
it's not.
He did it.
It's not. You know, it's very, very, very like we're talking like gray area, because like, man, if you were to say like how else would you describe somebody, a incredibly wealthy person, going out and doing like a raffle to get people to vote? How would you describe that? To me, that sounds like he's buying votes. Now, it's couched in like, oh well, anyone can technically like join, even if they're like not gonna vote for the person that I want to vote for. But like, let's be honest, the overwhelming amount of people that are gonna participate in this quote unquote giveaway are people that are gonna elicit a certain outcome that Elon Musk wants, right? That's the whole point. He's not literally saying like vote for Schimmel, here's $1 million. He's just vaguely couching it in like that idea of like, oh well, anyone can participate. But like, come on, man. Who are we kidding here? Some people can't be bought. I'm in that media market. Thank freaking God, no more of those ridiculous commercials. Oof.
Yet, this was the result. Susan Crawford winning by a wide margin against Brad Schimmel. And as the New York Times writes here, turnout was up nearly 40% higher than the 2023 Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So people came out, big backlash against Elon Musk and Trump, which this is what happened last time. When Trump is not on the ballot, a lot of people don't come out to vote, because a lot of people are just Trump voters. They'll vote for Trump. They'll come out in an election and vote for Trump. But if it's, you know, a Supreme Court race randomly in April, they're not as interested. Yet the backlash to what Trump is doing right now, what Elon Musk is doing, has been clear. So you could see the shift in the margin. So this is compared with the 2024 presidential vote in places that have reported almost all their votes. So basically everywhere in Wisconsin, the vote was way too, or I should say, further in favor of Democrats than Republicans compared to the last election. Really remarkable. Now, this means that liberals will now hold a majority on the Wisconsin Supreme Court through at least 2028, barring any unexpected vacancies. That means abortion and labor rights in the state are all but certain to get a favorable hearing.
Nice.
And at the national level, Judge Crawford's election could soon lead to a redrawing of Wisconsin Republican tilted congressional maps. So Democrats believe that could produce a swing of 2 seats.
Nice.
So good news all around. But it was funny to witness the defense of Elon Musk last night. This is from CNN with far-right loon Scott Jennings defending Elon Musk after this massive loss.
Scott, do you think this in Wisconsin was a referendum on Musk?
Well, I can look at it from a.
It was. Anything else that he says is just lying, right? Like, I mean, this guy is like a paid professional liar, right? Like, that's literally why he's there. So anything other than, like, obviously this was a referendum on Musk. Musk put a lot of resources, time, and energy. He put literally like tens of billions of dollars into this race. He like literally went there personally to do a rally with his silly cheesehead hat or whatever. So anything else other than like that is just like a lie, because like that's what this dude's here for. Gabriel Adams, welcome. Anything else is just like a lie, because this is what this guy's paid to do.
Another direction, I think the Schimmel campaign was really struggling, both financially and just in terms of traction before Musk got involved. He may have actually, give him whatever boost he had late. But it didn't solve for the issue that the Republicans have, which is these low propensity voters, and trying to get them to turn out for things that are not Donald Trump. You heard Elon Musk. I think
that part, yeah. But like, it is the question is this a referendum on Musk? And I would say yes. Yet he got a promotion and a pay raise. How are you doing? I'm all right.
Incorrectly try to tie a vote in the Supreme Court race to much larger, macro political issues, but it wasn't enough.
What is this, fork knife?
All right, a couple things here. It's
Elon tweeted that he knew that he was going to lose.
funny how he moves on from Elon Musk very quickly. He does not want to put any blame on him, claims that he may have actually helped the race. It would have done worse if Elon Musk wasn't involved, which, based on the money involved, that's probably true. But the fact that he had to pour $25 million in, literally gave away $1 million checks to voters, and still lost the race.
Yeah, I mean, like,
a little crazy.
I think it is a referendum against Elon Musk, because like this whole thing was like Elon Musk trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court because he had a personal investment there. Wasn't Wisconsin looking into Tesla?
And is worth noting, of course, the turnout for Democrats is at least partly a rejection of Elon Musk and the devastating cuts that he has made to government, in addition, of course, to a rejection of Donald Trump. But Scott Jennings does hit on the correct point there at the end, though he kind of moves off it very quickly. And that's how conservative voters don't turn out for people that aren't Donald Trump. Now, if he held on that point longer, maybe it's worth sitting with the fact that your voters are in a cult and Trump voters come out for Trump and nobody else.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, he's not going to say that because he's paid to peddle bullshit. He's not going to say that, but yeah.
That means they're not voting based on policy necessarily. They're not voting based on really anything except for the fact that they adore dear leader Donald Trump for whatever the reason they want to justify to themselves. But that is the only reason they come out, is to vote for him. Isn't that very weird? Isn't that worth thinking about for a second? And noting that
He's not paid to think critically about this whole situation, though. He's not there to think critically or to teach critical thinking to the cult members.
This is not
Otherwise, there would be no cult.
a problem that I think Republicans can really solve with marketing or PR or changing how campaigns are messaging. This is really about a cult of personality. So I don't know how Republicans solve that problem unless the candidates start changing their last name to Trump, which maybe I wouldn't be shocked if that's part of the solution. But, unless that happens, this is going to continue to be a problem for Republicans trying to turn out people in elections where Trump is not involved. But before I get to the political story, this Musk quote is so hilarious. So this headline, Musk said Wisconsin would decide the fate of Western civilization, which he did say that during the event for this race. Now he says he expected to lose. So he made this race the most important thing in the world. This is going to decide the fate of Western civilization.
Unironically, that's what he said. He said this is going to define civilization or something like that. The turnout doesn't really support the LPV narrative. What is the LPV narrative?
And then he loses after pouring all this time and money into it. And actually, no, I expected to lose. But there is value to losing a piece for a positional gain.
What does that even mean? Oh, low propensity voters. Gotcha. Oh, wait. What do you mean? A piece of losing a piece for a positional gain. What are you talking about? You just lost, my dude. That's it. You poured 25 million into this race. You went out there with your cringy USA cheese hat, cringy, ketamine-induced fever dream of a speech to try to rally support for this far-right judge, and you lost. Western civilization lost. Yep. It's gone. It's done. It's over. It's Jover.
What the hell
This is Pee Wee Herman wiping out on a bike.
does that mean? I lost, but also, sure, I lost, but I expected to lose. And on top of that, it's actually a good thing that I
Yeah,
lost.
it's actually a good thing. I sacrificed a position, this piece to get a position on the. He's trying to say that he's good at chess or something. But yeah, whatever, dude. You just lost, my dude. What exactly is the positional gain here? Exactly. Did he win a higher race? I'm not understanding here. But I guess that's what his addled mind generated, right, as a response. To try to sound smart.
This man cannot just accept the L. You lost. No one likes you. In fact,
mere mortal, he's thinking 7 strategical moves ahead. Bwahaha. That's basically him. I know you are, but what am I?
people hate you. There's a really good breakdown here from Harry Enton.
If you are a Republican candidate running in a swing state, you don't want Elon Musk anywhere near you. Yes, maybe you like the money, but you do not want his presence in your state. Why is that? Elon Musk, simply put, is an unpopular guy. He is political poison. Look in Wisconsin, his net favorable rating, minus 12 points, 12 points underwater. That is an even worse number when you look nationally. Look at that. It's minus 17 points. So if there's one big lesson to take away from Wisconsin, Elon Musk does not help Republicans when he shows up. If anything, the data suggests that he hurts them. Republicans, stay clear of Elon Musk if you want to win in a swing state, at least in terms of his physical.
No. Hold on. No. Quite the contra. My friend, you should be advocating for Republicans to stick to Elon Musk in swing states where he's more likely to torpedo their campaign.
Appearance in your state.
I wonder why Donald Trump is now telling his inner circle that Musk will leave soon. The president is pleased with Musk, but the decision comes as the tech mogul increasingly looks like a political liability. Now, before I get to more details here, I want to be clear as well. There were swings to Democrats in Florida as well. the average being 19-point swing to Democrats. And Elon Musk wasn't at
Yeah, so like, look, even though the two special election races were lost, particularly I followed the Josh Wheel one, particularly because that was more of an interest to me, and that was a plus. If I remember correctly, that was a plus 30 or close to it district for Trump. That was a deep, deep red district. And the fact that Randy Fine won it by, I think, like barely 10 points is a wild swing. So, yeah, I mean, the shift there is palpable. Yeah, no
as involved in
daylight.
those races. So it isn't just a rejection of Musk; it's a rejection of Musk and Trump. And again, showcasing the turnout that Democrats will see in this rejection or these rejections, and the lack of turnout that Republicans see when Trump is not on the ballot. But it is worth noting that Trump is deciding to change course a little bit here. So President Donald Trump has told his inner circle, including members of his cabinet, that Elon Musk will be stepping back in the coming weeks from his current role as governing partner, ubiquitous cheerleader, and Washington hatchet man. The president remains pleased
That's kind of a nice descriptor there. The copium is strong with this one.
with Musk and his
I'm glad that maybe Elon Musk's little stint is coming to an end.
Department of Government Efficiency.
Maybe this is like the off ramp, because like from the beginning, like their interaction was kind of their relationship was already kind of awkward to begin with, tenuous, contentious. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And this is the off ramp, right? Because he's deeply unpopular, and he's doing stuff that he really shouldn't be doing. Redmond Berry, welcome. I'm using that one on the next job posting I work with. Kirkenstein's Monster, welcome. Musk should probably avoid going to meetings in Kansas cornfields. Casino 1995 reference. Didn't see it, so. In the words of Marvel, I did not get that reference.
Initiative, but both men have decided in recent days that it will soon be time for Musk to return to his businesses and take on a supporting role, according to 3 Trump insiders who were granted anonymity to describe the evolving relationship. So this apparently, they had been discussing this for a while. You could maybe try and argue, well, I guess it wasn't because of this race. But Elon Musk's numbers have been underwater
welcome.
Forever. The amount of attention that Elon Musk is sucking up right now, the amount of hatred that he is bringing in terms of the eyeballs on what the Trump...
Rex Terminator, happy Liberation Day. What do you think about the tariffs? Obviously, it's really, really bad. Obviously, it's bad. Like, tariffs, by definition, are inflationary. So, yeah. It's just bad.
Trump administration is doing with these sorts of cuts has not helped Donald Trump at all. It's hurt him both in that race in Wisconsin, but also just generally in the way that Trump is perceived by voters because of just the amount of attention that Musk has brought to the devastation that Trump's policies are doing. So one senior administration official said Musk is likely to retain an informal role as an advisor and continue to be an occasional face around the White House grounds. Another cautioned that anyone who thinks Musk is going to disappear entirely from Trump's orbit is fooling themselves. I do find it a little bit odd how long Trump will keep Elon Musk near him, despite how much of a political liability.
I mean, like, I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? Because, like, it doesn't matter because they don't plan it could either be that they know that there's no more elections, meaning like Trump's not going to run again, right? For whatever reason. It could be that Trump's just not going to run again because he doesn't want to, because he's, for some reason, had a last minute change of mind and is going to respect the Constitution, or that it doesn't matter because Trump doesn't plan on leaving anyway. So, like, why would he care about how people feel about Elon Musk and how people feel about Trump? I think this is fascism. Nazi Germany and fascist Italy use fascist and autocratic economic policies to support and enable military industrialization. I mean, like, but that's not even what's happened. I'm not going to disagree with you in that this is fascism, because, like, this administration is fascist. It is a fascistic administration. No doubt about it. It's just like, these tariffs are just like a bomb to the economy. On top of what, let's just take a chainsaw to what provides 24% of the GDP. Where's the tariff money going? Unclear. Like, his plans are, he says that he wants to make like some kind of like fund with it, some kind of like a nation fund. I forget what the technical term is called. But it's basically like a trust fund for the country. It's unclear. Eager HK, hello from Canada, enjoying a pint and listening. You've got an easy listening voice. Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for the follow. Ajax, welcome. Must pay to stay in the White House. There's a complete continuity in objectives, just different in tactics and achieving them. Donald Trump doesn't like losers, and Wisconsin was a big loss for Elon. True. That's true. Omega Star, welcome. A fellow majority reporter. It warms my black little heart. Thank you for the subscription on the YouTube. Thank you. I think Trump is planning to get a third emergency/war term. I mean, it's possible. There you go. That's what it is. Thank you, Magoki. Sovereign Wealth Fund. Don't ask someone if they're Aubrey Plaza. Canada's it's doing welcome heat. This going through the same thing. We just got rid of the carbon tax last year. Conservatives screamed about it for years. Zero prices have changed. I assume tax cuts to billionaires? Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of par for the course. How's it going, Heat? Not last year. The pint is clearly hitting early. Soul Life, welcome. It's to cover the tax cuts for the wealthy. Why would he create a U.S. fund when we have a 36 trillion deficit we only get away with because we're the world reserve currency, which he's trying to end? That's a good point. I suppose you got to pay for those tax cuts somehow, right? Another day in America. The F-47 program may trigger a recession for you guys. It is. It is. It really is. Like, it's guaranteed. If the tariffs remain the way they are, as he proposed in today's glorious Liberation Day, then yeah, a recession is all but certain, thanks to our Felon 47 program. 35% chance now from the market makers you guys hit a recession this year. It's definitely possible, especially if this continues. No, it's not a new plane. They made a play on words there. F-47 meaning felon 47. I work in finance. We have been talking about this all day. Makes sense. I mean, if you guys see it, then yeah, I don't doubt it. The F-47 is a real program. Oh, is that? I don't know. I just thought they were making a play on words. I could be wrong. Where's Moanep and BCAT? Moanep is around here. The C-130 means cargo. Yeah, the C-130 is the older kind of cargo planes, right? The B and B-52 is bomber, and the F is fighter, but I genuinely thought it was a play on words. Looney Tunes, welcome. Oh, okay, so you're literally talking about a plane. I thought it was a play on words. Never mind, ignore me, chat. Moving on. Food and beverage distributors put on a fuel surcharge when oil went $60 back in the 2000s. Never went away regardless of the oil prices. Imagine with the tariffs. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's coming, folks. Like, if this continues, like a recession and worse is definitely a possibility. I will absolutely, if you refer to the F-47 as Felon 47, it's amazing. I'm sorry, I took it as a play on words, but yay, if it works, it works, okay? I literally thought that, like, you were talking about, like, Donald Trump's program, like, economic program, would trigger a recession, which incidentally does kind of fit, but I didn't expect that you were literally talking about a literal plane. That's too funny. The letter hack, welcome. I thought Soul Life was code for bomber. True. But yeah, I mean, feel free to use that now.
He is, especially when you look at Trump's first term and how many people were pushed out. I mean, there are lists.
Yeah, the F-35 is terrible
online, and they go on forever. And some of the names you'll recall. Oh yeah, that guy. Like it's wild how long this has gone on. I think part of the reason why Musk has been able to stay in as long as he has, despite how hated he is because of the fact that he's not a politician and that he is a billionaire. And Trump, you could argue in some way, I think maybe even looks up to him, views him as this brilliant man. So that has sort of been his protective shield up to this point.
Surprised he never used Freedom 45 for anything. Trailer Park Boys reference. Hermit Horologist, welcome.
But when you lose the kind of races you were losing, like
Matt from the Letter Hack, welcome. I don't know if I said hi.
And of course, Trump's not going to take any blame himself. He's going to have to put it off on somebody else. So Musk is a good excuse, I suppose, especially when you have other people in cabinet who have already clashed with him. I think it's easy to see that Musk is going to be transitioning out. And a lot of people, I don't just think, Democrats or voters generally, but I think a lot of Republicans in Trump's orbit are going to be happy with Elon Musk getting pushed out, as they can't stand him either.
Womp, womp, womp. I never got to Zateo Medi live notification today. It was only 30 minutes, but they pinned my comment the whole show. Nice. By the way, yeah, I understand that sometimes is it like Zateo like on a YouTube thing? Because sometimes YouTube and Twitch and all these other like live platforms tend to kind of be not great when it comes to notifications. As a Canadian, TPB is gospel. Ah, there's Moanep. Surly Barber, only Iceman can make the F-35 worth of crap, and he has departed this world with Val Kilmer. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Zateo is on YouTube. I was supposed to mod it. Oof. Donald Trump did sell his positions in Truth Social. Scammed again. I mean, this guy, he just moves on from con to con, right?
For conservative people to act like they're not the biggest fucking babies also is fucking hilarious. Have you seen this fucking My People, Whitey? We're all fucking upset. There's enough of us to get it going, trending anyway. We're upset about the new Cinderella movie. The actress playing Cinderella isn't white.
No! I have my pilot's license. I'm very optimistic about airplanes. That's actually kind of cool. Put some capsaicin on my neck, and if it doesn't chill out, I'm gonna freak. Bill Boring.
There's no prince. They changed the story. What am I going to tell my kids?
No!
The shit that my people get upset about. What am I going to tell my kids? Well, fucking talk around it the way you do we talk around the real history of this country. I think you can do that for you. You can talk around fucking genocide and slavery. I think you can talk around a stupid fucking movie about some broad who didn't exist.
Also, and this is key, and this is key. You could just watch the original movie too. Like, are you serious right now? Like, people are gonna cry about the new Cinderella movie, as if it doesn't, as if like the old cartoon animated movie isn't like available. It's just poof gone. Don't tell the racist Christians what color Jesus was. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Miss Dude, her name is Snow White. White. Imagine getting this bent out of shape over this. I mean, like, seriously. Not Snow DEI. Exactly. Disney Vault Diabolical.
You can't do that? Go take him to go see fucking Pinocchio. I don't
Disney
like
ruining your
Pinocchio
childhood since 1910.
That fucking wooden puppet transitions into a real boy. First of all, I don't like trans people, and God only makes real boys. Not
Are you trying to call the cat? Cat's around here somewhere.
some immigrant named Geppetto. Geppetto? What am I supposed to tell my kids?
That was another fantastic rant from Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast, and I think that everything he said there was spot on. Now, to be fair, he does take some swipes at liberals in that episode because he thinks that
Burr is unironically an icon of people's frustrations right now. True. Bill Burr's in his golden age.
are also a little bit too sensitive as well. But I mean, the current prevailing narrative in this country is that liberals and the left are by far the biggest snowflake pearl clutchers who support censorship and tone policing and all that bullshit. But in reality, the average right-winger is far more hypersensitive to things that offend them than the biggest snowflake on the left is. So it was really cathartic as a leftist for him to challenge that prevailing narrative and give most Americans a much needed reality check. But I think that the reason why the right has gotten away with being the supposed warriors against political correctness for so long is because they've been able to successfully frame their anti-woke outrage as a response to the era of political correctness catalyzed by SJW.
I think people have been screaming about cancel culture so long that they won't share their true opinions. Burr is just Emineming it by saying all this on air. Yep. You'll never guess what they started calling her. Oh, I know what they started calling her. They called her his DEI wife. Like, literally, like, if you go to Twitter or any social media, like, yeah, they literally started calling her his DEI wife. Bill Burr's quickly becoming this generation's George Carlin. Carlin would rule the world right now if he was alive. Burr did get better with age, and Chappelle got turfed. I mean, worse.
W's.
Dave Chappelle just.
But more Americans are starting to realize that the right has become everything that they once denounced. So the shrieking about something being woke or DEI and being triggered by trans people and gay people, it seems hypocritical to a lot of people who were told by right-wingers who are seemingly offended by everything that you shouldn't be so sensitive. You should maybe take a joke from time to time, legalize comedy, as they say. But I mean, think about it. They went from lambasting cancel culture in 2021 and 2020.
Right, because maybe they didn't care about any of that. Maybe they didn't care about any of that. Maybe the only thing that they cared about was they being the ones to be able to cancel whatever they want, right? And maybe the problem was that people were calling them out on their hate and bigotry, and that's what they were mad about. That's what they were mad about. I'm coming, don't worry. I think it was that airplane movie. One second. There you go. Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. What do you think about Trump's plan to stay in office after his term? Obviously, it's dictatorial. Obviously, it's fascistic. And we've been talking about this for years. Mother did that second role with active throat cancer, and stole the movie. When I discovered TYT Network lives, when I discovered the TYT Network lives, I was intentionally extra abrasive in chat in hopes to desensitize left, but all it did was desensitize them from me being abrasive. I've only seen Kilmer and Batman, but I voted for Heat. Ha! Did you see how he could use Vance for it? Yeah, I do. I did. The Burger Reich. The Burger Reich. That's funny. No Thunderheart? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a lot of Val Kilmer movies, except like the couple. Most of my memories of watching Val Kilmer movies is literally just like the Batman when I was very young. When I was very, very young. The Burger Reich actually seems kind of perfect. I heard from my American friends at DJ table drink up to 12 Diet Cokes a day. Who knows?
22.
I hope this is all just talk. Do you think this is a real threat? He said he wasn't kidding. He said he wasn't kidding. It's not talk. He's been doing this for years. It's not talk. He's not joking about it. He said he wasn't joking about it.
To full-throatedly embracing cancel culture by 2023 and 2024 with book bans and anti-woke scolding and boycotts of companies that were too woke. They've become everything that they said that they hated. And Bill Burr is pointing out that hypocrisy in a hilarious way. And it's about damn time. Somebody needed to say it. I've been saying it for a long time, but nobody's going to listen to me. But they will listen to somebody with cultural clout like Bill Burr.
Val Kilmer was the best Bruce Wayne there ever was. What about Ben Affleck?
Now, to clarify, I think that he was referring to Snow White and not Cinderella. And to my understanding, the casting of Rachel Zegler, the actress in that movie who plays Snow White, really marked the beginning of the right-wing outrage for that particular movie that he's referring to, since she is a Latina and they want Snow White to be white. But she's remained a target as well because of political views that she's expressed.
Yeah, I ruffled some feathers in chat. I'm kidding. I do need to see that movie with Jim Morrison. I really do. I actually saw the trailers for that movie, for the Jim Morrison movie, and I actually meant to see it, and I never actually got the chance. I heard it was very good. So that's something that I freaking need to put on the list to catch up. But yeah, I completely forgot about that. I heard very, 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 very good reviews on that movie. It's fantastic. All right, The Doors is great. Do it. Okay. The fact that Kilmer never got an Oscar is bad. Did anyone watch Mindhunters? That was a good one. I don't think I did. I think almost Guy cried at the end of Tombstone. Thanks to Val Kilmer.
She's made anti-Trump posts on social media. She's spoken out in favor of Palestine. But when it comes to, somebody like Gina Carano, the right is very adamant that actors and actresses should never be punished for expressing their political views. But when it comes to somebody like Rachel Zegler, who is not in agreement with them, all of a sudden she's bad and she should be canceled. And also she's not white. So, or she's not white enough, I should say, so she shouldn't be Snow White. So they're complete fucking hypocrites. But with regard to
I have it on this newfangled thing called Blu-ray. Getting actual physical media is not a bad idea. I've been meaning to collect a couple of just I've been meaning to collect a couple of these movies and stuff like that on DVD or Blu-ray. That's kind of dating myself a little bit there. Yeah. Imagine DVD. The Doors soundtrack is good too. Well, then I definitely have to watch it. How about conservatives are using the DEI as this means the N-word now term like we aren't seeing it? 100%. That's what they mean. That's exactly what they mean. I still have 150 laser discs. Wow. VHS? Willow movie night now. Digital download will require a separate subscription. No thank you. And fixed VC. That's actually kind of cool. I have 6 terabytes of movies. Ask me how much I've paid for my most expensive tape.
this movie,
I mean, I still have a couple of, again, not to date myself too much, but I still have, okay, so I still have the original trilogy of Star Wars, right, in VHS in special edition. The little special edition box. I still have that VHS collection. I have the somewhere, it's not here, but somewhere, the Jurassic Park original movie in VHS, and I have, of course, some of the Disney movies. I have the first Pokemon movie. Bozy, welcome. I have Who's Harry Crumb on Betamax. On Betamax? Oh my goodness. Wow. My Star Wars Laserdiscs are pre-digital fixes Lucas made in the 1990s. Has Conan the Barbarian VHS. Wow. Paid $2,500 for that tape of the wrestling, and you also have the Clash. That's actually kind of cool. The Clash.
There really is something for everybody to hate because it also stars Gal Gadot, who's an Israeli that openly supports her country even as it commits a genocide in Gaza. But I mean, putting aside all of this, the movie just looks like shit, so I don't know why anyone would watch it in the first place. With that being said, Snow White is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's one example of right-wing outrage that has
I have a ton of VHS tapes, but they take up so much space. Agreed. Agreed. I don't have all my VHSs here. I don't even have a way of... I mean, I guess I could go to an antique shop and find a VHS player. Vidingale rating with a party of 19. Welcome. I digitize that shit immediately. Nice. That's actually interesting, Eager. Welcome, folks. Thank you. Thank you, Vidingale, for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome, folks. If you have not seen me before, I am A Difficult Truth. We do the news. We do the politics. We're here Monday through Thursday around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I appreciate it. Folks, if you haven't done so, please go show some support to Vidingale. Thank you for bringing your wonderful community. I appreciate it. If you enjoy your stay here, folks, hit that follow button. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Moaneb, hey, welcome. Vidingale team raid. Appreciate that. Robbie Dobby, thank you for the follow. PJ Fry, thank you for the follow. Welcome, everybody. I feel the Stargate shows are very rewatchable, more than Star Trek. Whoa, it's heresy. The peeps are here. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I appreciate that, and thank you for bringing your community here and trusting your community here. I appreciate that, and choosing us.
Been so over the top that it looks cartoonishly fucking stupid. It almost looks like a satire, but it's not. It's real life. I mean, shows like Star Wars The Acolyte, as well as games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, have been the subject of so much right-wing outrage that it almost feels like we're watching a parody, like something from Idiocracy. And all of this outrage stems from people being mad about the race of certain characters. And this type of right-wing backlash has become so common that the developers of Assassin's Creed actually expected to be harassed simply because they made one of the characters black. And even though this rage is obviously fueled by explicit racism, the grifters 100%. Who farm outrage off of racist, anti-woke content and DEI, they don't frame it that way. Instead, they frame it as an attempt to impose progressive cultural values on consumers and to erase straight white men from video games, which implicitly communicates the inherent evilness of privileged straight white men whose cultural hegemony should ultimately be opposed and replaced.
Right. Robbie Dobby, thank you. Robbie the Bobby, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. Moanep guided our raid today, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Straight white man offended. Yeah, being erased before our very eyes. Yep, sorry. Sorry, white people. You're just completely erased and gone. There's not like, like 10 million, 10,000 gajillion video games and media where you're consistently the main characters. But yeah, no more white people. Gone. Sorry, guys.
Now, according to them, it's not about equality because representation in their mind is a zero-sum game. So black and brown people becoming more visible in culture, in their minds, invisibilizes white men. But I've got bad news for all of these people who buy into this horseshit. It's just racism, pure and simple. We know what you mean when you say you don't like Miles Morales and Spider-Man because
Which, by the way, that is a completely canon character. Like whoever this Emerald Aslan clown, okay, like they have to either be not an actual Spider-Man fan, because if you're an actual Spider-Man fan, you would know that Miles Morales is a completely canon character, right? He's not Peter Parker. Okay, it's not like they took Peter Parker and turned him black, which also wouldn't matter because again, Spider-Man isn't real. But anyways, this person has absolutely no idea how the about the actual like source material. And what about the White Panther? Medikite, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But Booba Smaller, did I have an issue with Blade? Probably. I use this emote a lot. True. Right, it's just a character. Like even if they really did just completely, even if they did completely like race swap like actual Peter Parker, who gives a crap? At Comic-Con many years ago, I met a black Superman. I didn't see the problem. I also saw black female Vulcan. Very cool. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that that there is a black Superman. Miles Morales just sounds like DEI Spider-Man to me. Since they can't create a popular black character, they just release a black version of one of the 3 most popular superheroes and use his fame. I wonder whether they will use the black versions of 2 of the other popular superheroes, Superman and Batman. Maybe they're already in the comics. Newsflash, this loser doesn't know that like Miles Morales has been like a thing for a long time.
He's a DEI character. We know what you mean when you say that a movie like Jurassic Park went woke because they casted a black actress in the movie. And they think they're being clever, but they're not being clever. And these rationalizations barely conceal the true nature of their outrage. Do you think
there's a Chinese Superman? There's like a Russian Superman, or there's like a comic where like Superman landed in Russia and he became like a communist, like under Stalin, like under communist Russia. But yeah, they're gonna lose their minds when they see Into the Spider-Verse. Hey, thank you for the subscription on YouTube. Racists give a crap. True.
that people in favor of segregation during the 60s just straight up said that they were racist? Of course not. They cloaked their racism in a pseudo-intellectualism. So rather than just admitting that they were racist and they didn't want their kids to go to school with black kids because they were racist, they argued, about the inherent differences between the races and how race mixing would uproot societal harmony and would be bad for all children, including black children as well. It wasn't that they were racist. Quite the contrary. They liked black people. They loved them, in fact. They support equality for both races despite arguing that they needed to...
There was a Russian Supergirl. Stalin means man of steel. It does. Russian Supergirl does sound badass.
Remain separate, separate but equal. I mean, we look back at that argument and we can see why they said what they said. They wanted to be racist without explicitly saying that they were racist, but they were making a racist argument. I mean, you can apply this to basically any civil rights battle. Do you think that the bigots during the 2000s argued against marriage equality by just admitting that they hate gay people and they think that gay people are icky? Of course not. They would talk about how, marriage is just a cherished institution that was ordained by God, not the state. And so by allowing the state to grant marriage rights to anybody, you're taking away something that's supposed to be God's. I mean, till this day, conservatives insist that the Civil War wasn't about slavery. Rather, it was about states' rights.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like a thing, by the way, that's still tried, that is still tried to be argued till this day. And my good friend Strom Thurmond. Oh my God. Segregation was all about keeping the races from marrying each other. Yeah. In fact, a lot of the southern states had like rules, right? Like you could be what they would call an octoroon, right? Like a completely white presenting person for all intents and purposes. You are white, but if they could prove in a court of law that you had like 1/8 of a black ancestor, then you would be considered black. And you would then be illegally unable to marry, like between the races. It was called. There was like an actual legal term that that the southern states used to make this law. I forget what it was called. Genie something like I forget what it's called. But yeah, like literally, that's exactly what it was. Medikite. Yeah, states' rights to do what? Slavery, maybe?
Never mind the fact that, the states wanted the right to own human beings as property, but it wasn't about slavery. It was about states resisting a tyrannical federal government that wanted to impose its will on them. So nobody's going to just straight up say what they mean, because explicit racism in today's society is rejected. There's backlash to it. So they cloak it in some.
Well, generally speaking, yes, there is backlash to racists. Mostly.
Some other argument that's more palatable to people who might not notice that.
You may think that an adult that can't stop watching the P word looks something like this, but this is what they really look like.
Jesus Christ. Combo Weasel, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. All started in 1619, after 1619 in Virginia law. I mean, like, that wouldn't surprise me because wasn't, like, Virginia, like, the center of the Confederacy a while further than that? I'm a Twitch mod for Ariana Jasmine, Shakespeare, and GNN. Hey, that's cool. Ariana does fantastic work. Ariana does fantastic work. Conversely, if a native woman married non-native, she would get disenrolled from their tribe.
So I say all this to say that you can try to apply a thin veneer of intellectualism to your dumbass bigotry, but at the end of the day, it's still just bigotry.
I listened to an Usher song this morning, an Eminem song came after, and I unlocked a YouTube badge for being the top 1% of Eminem listeners. I didn't know he fell off so hard. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know that YouTube had badges. How do you get badges on YouTube? Like Xbox Live achievements.
You're not fooling anyone. Well, I shouldn't say that. You are fooling some people, but only the dumbest rubes in society. But society has regressed to the point where there's basically a cottage industry that's emerged to embolden anti-woke white supremacists. There's a woke-busting app that helps you to avoid woke brands so you don't accidentally purchase a product from a company that might offend you. There's also a curated list of Steam games that helps consumers avoid woke games and anything that includes...
Like Spider-Man 2? Not recommended. Wait. As a gamer, okay? Can we go back for a second?
Steam games that help.
Monster Hunter? Oh, hey, Vidingale. That actually, I remember, like, that you guys made, like, a collective statement, regarding this. Told you woke AF. Oh, man. We used to volunteer for them at the same time for a bit. Hey, that's awesome. Look at that. Former TYT mods. That's freaking cool. And here we are. Look at that. I think, like, we're just like a collection, we're just like an amalgamation of different mods, because there's There's several mods in here from several different channels listening to a channel that also is a moderator. That's funny. It was a beautiful bit of collective bargaining. We took it to Santa and definitely affected the network. Shut it down. Nice. Heck yeah. Good job. Let's see what else is woke here. Citizen Sleeper. I haven't heard of this one. Blade Runner. No, Blade Chimera.
Helps consumers avoid woke games and anything
X-Gate.
that includes DEI.
Keep driving. Snow Rider, a snow skiing game. What I would recommend is capsaicin. Usually is diffused by milk. Yeah, there he goes. By milk. He beat me to it by just a second there. But yes, milk works. Lonely Mountain Downhill is recommended, I guess, because the character is seems to be white there.
U plus or anti-capitalist
Metal Slug, I never heard of it.
content that might be offensive to anti-woke gamers. But I mean, you can call it anti-woke, you can call it CRT, you can call it political correctness, you can call it PC outrage, you can call them SJWs, but at the end of the day, it's the same bullshit. Same shit, different era. It's just presented in a new package. But you see, the problem with the anti-woke right, like their evangelical predecessors from the 2000s during the Bush era, is that they went a little bit too far and got a little bit too hysterical to the point where they're now basically turning off the normies. They're now the ones being met with backlash, so much so that farming outrage off of them is now becoming lucrative. Case in point, Opera GX announced that they're developing a
That's so funny.
feature for their browser that removes Grums, an anti-woke game developer, from the web so you don't have to hear him bitch and moan about woke video games. On top of that, the official Assassin's Creed Twitter account ratioed Elon Musk into oblivion on his own app after he attacked Hassan Piker for playing their game on stream. And they pointed out how he literally paid someone to boost his character in Path of Exile 2 so that way he can look like an elite gamer and come off as cool to the gamers, which is just so pathetic and embarrassing beyond belief, but that's besides the point. You know, they also dunked on Grums for shitting on their game while pointing out that their game is out, which is a reference to a game that he's supposedly been developing for a decade or so that hasn't been released. In other words, we're already starting to see the culture shift back in the opposite direction, which is going to be really tiring for all the corporations who are currently cutting DEI, because in a couple of years when they bring it back or bring up something new to replace it, they're going to have to figure out a way to rationalize that once the culture shifts again. But I mean, it's gotten so bad where now apolitical game streamers are so tired of having to tiptoe around anti-woke sensibilities of right-wing snowflakes that they're just going off on them at this point because they don't want to hear their bullshit. One example is Fightin' Cowboy. He's a massive gamer in the Soulsborne space, and I've enjoyed his content personally for years myself. He makes really good walkthroughs if you play Dark Souls or Sekiro. But a couple of weeks ago, he went on a glorious rant against racist dipshits who took issue with him playing the new Assassin's Creed game. Listen to what he says.
I don't give a fuck what your opinion is of this game. I don't care. Your opinion is worthless to me. The quality of health of my morning shit had a bigger impact on my thought process today than you being upset that there's a black guy in Assassin's Creed. So shut the fuck up. All right? We're not doing this shit.
Based. Eager with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much.
It's a fucking video game. If you are upset that there's a black guy in a video game, fuck off. I don't want you here. I don't care. Stop. I'm not doing this fucking argument. Every goddamn game these days. Oh, it's woke. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh, there's a trans person. Shut the fuck up. Either play the game or go the fuck outside, bro. It's not that hard. God damn. I've been on this earth 37 fucking years.
By the way, that microphone that he has is actually pretty decent. I actually have that microphone, and the sound quality that you can generate off this one USB mic is actually... Sorry, I'm a bit of a audio kind of nerd because of my music background. But the microphone that he's using is actually one of the original microphones that I had way back when. And it's not really optimal for streaming. Like I wouldn't, I stopped using it for streaming because it's not optimal for streaming. But getting recordings, like if you want to do like a podcast with this thing, if you want to record maybe a guitar or something like that, or vocals, oh man, this thing is awesome. This thing is awesome. I think it's the Samson Samson G-Track Pro, and you can even input a instrument doing recording. Like you can put a guitar. There's a 1/4 inch input there on this thing, and it's a USB mic, so you can just plug it into your phone and start like your own whatever, your own podcast if you want to like use it for vocals, recordings, whatever. You just plug it into your phone or plug it into your computer, and kind of just tweak the dials there for each thing. Absolutely do want an upgrade. I'll be doing that soon. The Blue Yeti, like, people give it hate, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. If you know how to play with the Blue Yeti, you can get some good freaking audio out of it. That's cool. I love good audio, but I'm not a good audio engineer. I just use a cheap USB mic, and that's a step above my web cam mic. Oh, 100%. I mean, like, even this microphone that I'm using is the PreSonus Revelator or something like that, and it's just a USB-C mic, but it comes with software that lets you that's where all the magic happens. You should post that info on the Discord. I can make like a list of what I use and why. But yeah, I mean, like this thing is awesome. Also, like using a dynamic microphone for streaming is like a must. Or even if you're doing video calls or whatever, a dynamic microphone, because this microphone that he's using is not a dynamic one. It picks up everything. But it's good if you want to do just like recording.
When I was a kid, guess what? If a game came out and I didn't want to get involved with it, I didn't fucking play with it. I didn't go on the internet and cry like an entitled little child, wah, 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 wah. The game doesn't have stuff that I want. So shut the fuck up and leave, bro. Are you that much of a fucking loser that you're seeking out streams of a game you don't like just to be like, wah, I don't like this. There's a black guy. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's all. This is the only rant. I'm getting this shit out of the way now. Stop. Because any comment, any fucking comment, I'm just going to ban you. I don't care. I'm just going to fucking ban you. I don't care. I don't have time for it, bro. I'm here to play a fucking game, not listen to you cry about a black dude that existed in history, that was brought over to Japan as a slave and then taken on by Nobunaga and made a fucking retainer. All right. If that upsets you, if that makes you not feel like you're in your special place, that's not my fucking problem. Go talk to your therapist about it.
That was incredible. And Cowboy went massively viral for that rant because it resonated with people. Like Bill Burr, he's acknowledging what other people are starting to see but too afraid to vocalize, because if you dare speak about how the right-wing snowflakes sound identical to the SJW caricatures that they've been whining about for years, they'll harass you in the same way that they harass non-white actors and actresses for taking roles that they think white people should have instead. And they'll accuse you of being
I mean, it's a tale as old as time, right?
Woke yourself or pro-DEI or whatever bullshit they concoct. But predictably, some of the loudest grifters in that space seized on that viral clip of Cowboy to farm more outrage off of him and portray him as some sort of a liberal cuck, but he had the perfect response to them.
Nice.
Everyone's so fucking caught up on dumb bullshit about fucking race wars and gender wars and all this bullshit. This big fucking stupid grift machine that's designed to make you angry. You want to know who you should be angry at? Look at the fucking people upstairs, bro.
Oh!
The people in charge want you to be angry Because when you're too busy blaming the fucking dude down the street who's just trying to live his life, they're sitting there fucking counting money. You want to have a real war? Let's have a fucking class war. Let's get
Oh
rid of
my God, this guy. Who is this guy? Fighting Cowboy.
the fucking billionaire dickheads that are literally butt fucking our country and taking money from it. But that won't fucking happen. Because you want to know who these dickheads that keep telling you to be angry are getting paid by? The same fucks that are robbing you of pennies on every single dollar you earn. They want you to be angry and to blame
I'm gonna look
the
for
black
it. Give me a
guy
second.
and to blame the gay guy and the fucking trans shows. Because those are boogeymen. So you don't look at them while they take your fucking 401k and dick it down.
10 out of 10, no notes. Or I should say 5 out of 5 because that's the scale that Cowboy uses to grade games. But I mean, everything you said there is spot on. That's the same thing that I say on this show all the time. Scapegoating people who are marginalized, has long been used by the right to distract people from the exploitation of the capitalist class. Because if you're fighting each other, you're not going to fight the people at the top who's exploiting everyone. And to be clear, anti-woke outrage is not a new phenomenon. Conservatives have always understood that capturing culture is their key to political success, which is why they've invested heavily in the online right-wing ecosystem. It's why they're forming their own
for a decade. Nice.
What is happening, y'all? So we're going to have a bit of a different stream today.
1 second. I think this is the video he's talking about. I'm going to link it in chat. There you go.
own anti-woke movie studios to produce anti-woke movies, things that they say Hollywood would never greenlight. It's why Elon Musk bought Twitter, to control discourse and culture. It's why there's a concerted effort to frame conservatism as a subversive subculture, as if it's the new punk rock or some shit like that, which I don't know who buys that, but some people do. But it's nothing more than the same shit in a brand new package. It's new marketing. See, when I was a kid, the right would shriek about spiritual...
Maybe all these movies are losing money because it costs $15 to go to the movies. I mean, yes, but also, like, some of these movies, like, also, they're just bad. They're not, like, you know, especially some of these, like, remake movies, they're just not, like, they're just not great, you know? And it's not because, like, some, I don't know, like, woman is now taking a man's role, or, like, a person of color is now taking a white role. Like, it doesn't, like, that's not what makes the movie bad. Like, what makes the movie bad is bad freaking writing. And, like, if you have an actual, like, critique about whatever, you know, that's fair. But, like, these people are not interested in having that conversation. They're not talking about, like, oh, well, the story is bad because, like, there's a lot of plot holes and, like, it missed here and, like, there's detail. Like, no, they're just mad that, like, a freaking black person is on the screen. That's it. I'm feeling older than ever, saying things were better when I was a kid. I called Anora winning the best picture of when my girlfriend and I got out of the theater. The movies are pretty expensive. I mean, like, you know, it's not like $50 a pop, but it's $50 if you want to go to the movies, right? Between the food, between the two tickets, yada yada yada.
warfare.
Yeah.
They still do to some extent. And they would talk about how the devil is waging spiritual warfare through media and pop culture, and they'd whine about video games like Pokemon and how evil it was because that taught kids inadvertently about evolution, which, you know, is bad because creationism is what you're supposed to teach your children, even though it's wrong. Now, as a kid, I remember my pastor made a huge fucking stink about Pokemon, and my family then pressured me and really guilt-tripped me into getting rid of everything that I had that was Pokemon. My Pokemon cards, my Pikachu stuffed animal, my Pokemon stuffed animals, everything. Because, you know, if I didn't, I would go to hell. And this was one of many things that I had to get rid of because of anti-woke right-wing snowflakes.
Oh no, you listen, okay, under no circumstances was a church, a pastor, a priest, a youth leader, whatever, like under no circumstances was I going to get rid of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my Pokemon, or my Magic the Gathering cards. Like, you gotta be out of your goddamn mind. if you think that I'm getting rid of my freaking Pokemon, like literally over my dead body, I'll go to hell. All right, listen, I don't care. Okay, Pikachu stays with me, or Harry Potter, but that's okay nowadays. Yeah, like yeah, that's fine. But like seriously, if my youth pastor, or whatever, I think they were called youth pastors. I don't freaking know. Whatever. Told me that I had to get rid of my Pokemon games. What? Like you must be like smoking on whatever Moses was smoking to see God, okay, to be able to write down the freaking 10 commandments, because you are out of your goddamn mind. Good movies are always being made. You just need to look beyond the multiplex or what's in Multiplex Auditorium 12 instead of 1, 2, and 3. I mean, yeah, there are good movies. I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, the remakes that they make is just not great. Poggers! True, Eager. True. Always. Every accusation just ends up being a confession.
I was told that I would go to hell for playing Animal Crossing because one of the characters had a crystal ball. So, you know, that was the occult. And if you play that game, even if you avoid the character with the crystal ball, you're still basically doing witchcraft. So, you know, I've been dealing with right-wing snowflakes for my entire fucking life. And I've been sick of it. They've always whined about pop culture and things that are evil, that offend them. But the right learned that you're not going to win over the normies by simply saying that you shouldn't watch a movie because it glorifies the devil or the occult. They learned to get a little bit smarter and try to cast a larger net. So instead of saying, hey, this movie is evil because, you know, it's promoting a culture that we don't like, it's anti-evangelical, or it has themes that might be conducive to somebody questioning their faith, they say, well, you know what? This movie is anti-white.
Please sign the petition and urge Congress to make assault rifles illegal.
My fundamentalist Mormon
mom
printed out an Onion article about Harry Potter books being possessed by evil spirits, all in earnest. It was so funny. Really? What? I love the cowboy video game guy. Yeah, he's fantastic. I didn't know about him until today.
Masculinity. That's an attack on you and who you are, the essence of who you are as a man. And when the anti-woke era inevitably comes to an end, which it will, there's going to be something new to take its place. You know, we just had CRT a couple of years ago. We don't hear about that because it's been replaced by a new acronym.
Right. Like, it's not, you know, it's not wokeness. It used to be political correctness, whatever. My YouTube just ad skipped itself. Nice. I'm a conservative's worst nightmare, a bisexual liberal, a voting Canadian gun owner. Jesus. You hit all the freaking marks.
DEI.
Ultra omega woke.
There's always going to be something new. They'll change the marketing, but it's the same fucking thing with the same goal. But unfortunately for them, we've now reached the point.
She highlighted the important bits too. Oh my goodness.
Anti-woke bullshit, where once again, people are sick of this shit, including some of the peddlers of anti-woke outrage themselves. And I say this because Asmongold, a gaming streamer who's unfortunately become one of the largest right-wing political channels on YouTube, well, he was playing Assassin's Creed himself on stream, and he liked it.
Max Lefting.
And it was clear that his audience wasn't getting what they expected from him. They wanted him to shit on the game. You're also on the Majority Report chat, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen you. I don't know. I recognize your username. But he wasn't doing that because he enjoyed the game. So what resulted was this hilarious tap dance that he was doing where he had to avoid the elephant in the room. Just look at this short clip.
Do you plan on beating Shadows? Yeah, sure, I'll beat the game. Why wouldn't I? Don't force yourself to? No, I'm not. I've been enjoying this. I've been enjoying
Uh-oh!
So clearly he's afraid of the audience that he cultivated, which is funny to me. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show you that nonstop outrage is not sustainable. Certainly it can be effective in some ways, but you've got
I'm all over the place all the time. Okay, gotcha.
pick and choose your battles.
Asmongold has gone woke, folks.
Wisely. And the right has not done that because they're not good at reading the room. They never have been able to read the room because they're out of touch, they're clueless, and they just have one political project, which is to distract people so they can get in office and gut the government and give tax cuts to rich people. So whatever they can say to make the peasants applaud and be distracted, that's what they're going to opt for. But I mean, if you don't pick and choose your battles, and if you say that every fucking thing is woke, the veil is going to slip and people are going to start to recognize the hollowness of the grift. If everything is woke or DEI, life just becomes too exhausting for regular people and they get overwhelmed and they end up just tuning out entirely and resenting the people who are trying to dictate what they should or shouldn't like. I mean, Kid Rock, who spearheaded the anti-woke boycott against Bud Light, was seen drinking a Bud Light during the boycott. Because at the end of the day, playing a woke game or watching a woke movie has no material impact on your life.
Kid Rock didn't even shoot his Bud Light. He missed. Did Asmongold clean up his house again? That's unclear, but he's on his he was on his BS takes. I posted a picture in Discord. It's an amazing meme. I'll check it out in a minute because I got to get out of here.
And eventually people realize this because once you remove the woke menace from your life and you filter out every single movie or video game that has woke and DEI in it.
Why did Kid Rock wear his suit to the White House? I don't know. It's Kid Rock. Did he even say thank you?
You begin to realize that you're still broke, you're still miserable, and life still sucks. You're forced to reckon with the fact that you were being distracted by a movement that wasn't really offering you anything substantive. They were just profiting off of your temporary rage. And the grifters on Twitter and YouTube continuously pump out this bullshit to their viewers because ginning up racism and bigotry to farm engagement from online algorithms is the easiest way ever to make money and stay relevant.
Yep.
If you don't actually have any talent or anything of value to say. So in conclusion, I think that it's clear that the growing backlash to right-wing snowflakes, in my mind, is an indication that the temporary cultural dominance that right-wingers are finally experiencing is not long for this world. It's already starting to kind of fall apart. And I'm thankful that people like Bill Burr and Fightin' Cowboy are holding a mirror to the faces to all of these people who have complained so long about cancel culture, but now have become the cancel culturers themselves. It's just, you love to see it. And I think that it's long overdue for people to start shitting on them.
Woke mob.
Woke mob.
Woke.
I work in the IT security field and I'm actively looking into botted accounts, and I have a few on my Twitter contributing to a study at the moment about dead internet. That's interesting. Fascinating. Okay, folks. I got time for one article that I think is important to talk about before I get out of here. Would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? Senate Republicans are set to bypass the parliamentarian on Trump tax cuts. Yeah. Hey, remember when the Democrats said that, like, the parliamentarian was like, I don't know, like this arbiter of what can happen? Yeah. And remember when we said, like, hey, do you think that, in fact, there is, by the way, there is video record somewhere, okay, because I know the streams are 2 hours long. I've done this for a minute. But there is literally video evidence of me saying, hey, when Republicans gain power, do you think that they're actually going to care about what the parliamentarian says? And here we are. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't fight for a higher minimum wage. The parliamentarian said that's not good. Shout out to the fellow who filibustered for 25 hours. Have you been on Leftist Mafia yet? No, I haven't. But minimum wage is woke. No, I haven't. But hey, if I'm ever needed, I will answer the call. As a guest. Nope, not as a guest. We want to reduce the pendulum of public policy swings rather than increasing them. The whole woke was just actually the same thing, just trying to find the most extreme examples to dismiss whole rafts of arguments, and now we have to be sure to watch that we don't do the same thing in return. Democrats don't know how to fight, or yeah, I mean, like, not they don't want to. It seems. The children yearn for the mines. Yeah, this is Florida. Well, there's several actually red states that are changing laws for loosening child labor. Thoughts on a broken grant strategy, AI throwing tariffs around at random? I mean, it's not the whole tariff thing. I don't know if like Trump used AI to do this, but yeah, bad. AT would be an excellent guest. So anyone got any clout? Let's get it done. I mean, yeah. Listen, you guys can be my advocates because I don't know who I would reach to. But yeah, I mean, I would be a guest, and David Dole is a great guy. So if he ever needs to take a break and needs an extra filler, I can do fillers too. I can do fill-ins. Yeah, it's Liberation Day. We should be standing tall. We truly live in Helldivers VR. Oh man. Republicans are set to make the audacious play. Is it really audacious? Like we've been calling this for we've been calling this for like a while now. It's not audacious. They talked. It's expected. We should have known this. Right. He said he was going to do this, and now he's doing it. I mean, you said something about reading the room earlier. Biden's rerun was the perfect example of how not to. Bypassing the Senate parliamentarian and moving forward the budget resolution based on scoring baseline set by budget committee chair Lindsey Graham that would allow them to argue extending President Trump's tax cuts won't add to the deficit, which it's inarguable that they will. Senate Republicans are being very careful to say they won't overrule the parliamentarian, the Senate procedural umpire, which apparently has like this unlimited, like unilateral authority to tell the Democrats no. But unfortunately, that does not work in the case of Republicans. But the Democrats are already accusing them of going nuclear by flouting the Senate rules and the precedents. What are you going to do about it? We think the law is very clear, but ultimately the Budget Committee chairman makes that determination, said Senate Majority Leader John Thune. Of course, I mean, like, listen. The whole point of this article, right, is just this. It's absurd, all right? And it's so infuriating that when the Democrats had the freaking majority, they were stopped by the Senate parliamentarian on some really good and popular legislation. And when it comes time for the Republicans to push their inarguably damaging policies, the Senate parliamentarian is sidelined. That's the takeaway from this, okay? And it is absurd. It is infuriating. I am running out of freaking words to describe how angry and how annoyed and how not disillusioned, because like I can't be disillusioned by something that I'm already like calling out for a while now. But like it's just angering, okay? It's just pure anger at this point. That the Senate parliamentarian can basically like so the rules and the institution only applies to one side, but if the other wants to run roughshod, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, like it's so freaking angering that when the Democratic Party had some good legislation, okay, I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm saying it was better. They were talking about the minimum wage, and it was unfortunate that they were just they were stopped by the Senate parliamentarian, who incidentally no one voted for. They're just like a procedural like umpire, as it's being described, as their position is being described. But when the Republicans want to do something, they just don't care, right? Like, we have to shoehorn a Supreme Court justice. Screw it. Even though the last time we said that we would block the Supreme Court justice for the other team, for the other party, because it was too close to an election. Screw it. When it's our turn, screw it. It doesn't matter. President Biden presided over 3 foreign policy disasters, yet Dems' internal polling said that sub 45% approval rating, worst Democratic president in my lifetime, and probably worse than Bush Sr.'s, hence why he raised taxes and didn't get reelected in Carter 2. I'll post a video on Discord of me eating a hat if Americans don't hit a recession by November 10th. And now YouTube is triggering a blue screen of death on my TV, on my PC. Oof, sorry. Sorry to hear that. Effing Lindsey Graham. Yep. And yet no real primary was held. Yeah, a thing that also happened. But anyways, the point being is that this is unfreaking believable. Like, and I'm not saying that it's, I'm just saying that it's shocking. Not surprising. It's just like shocking, and how absurd this is. The timeline that we find ourselves in, where like it's just like the supposed opposition party is consistently fighting with one hand behind their back, consistently. Meanwhile, the freaking fascists just like do whatever the heck they want, and like and it's all good, right? Oh, what, the Senate parliamentarian who's supposed to be an umpire and say like this is good and this is not. Well, we don't care what they say, because actually, technically, whatever, man, whatever. It's over for the U.S. economy if Trump is serious. Trump is very serious, unfortunately. He's gonna do the thing. As I said from the beginning. What? You mean I shouldn't put all my money on Tesla? Technically, we're in a recession right now, even if we won't admit it. Yeah, buckle up. Buckle up, because the next, few months? Ooh, boy. Too late, you would have made good money this morning. No, I'm kidding. I'm memeing. Someone got arrested from my town for keying a Tesla and got charged with a felony. Dang. The U.S. economy has been turned down during almost every GOP administration since Nixon. Yeah, almost like maybe like Republicans aren't that great for the economy. Yep. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your support. You guys are what makes this channel go. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to all the new follows. Thank you to the new subs on YouTube. I appreciate the subs. Thank you for the gifted subs and the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are what makes this channel grow. As far as the YouTube crew, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Keep liking the stream. Keep subscribing. The Twitch side, thank you guys for being here. And thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Vidingale, for the raid. I appreciate it. And thank you for bringing your wonderful community here. Love Twitch chat. Stay safe. Appreciate that, Sammy. Thank you. And I appreciate like the neat like jumping back and forth between YouTube and Twitch. I appreciate it. Poggers! I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. You guys are what makes this channel go. Willow Movie Night. I gotta put that on the list. I appreciate you guys being here. We'll be back tomorrow at around 5 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for your support. Spread the word. We're here Monday through Thursday around 5 p.m. Eastern time. Bring a friend, folks. That's one way of really supporting the channel. Thank you. And if you want to support the channel directly, there are many different ways of doing so. Consider checking out the merch stores and the exclamation mark tip. I appreciate you guys. Join the Discord if you want to keep up with the channel, Substack, do all the awesome stuff. And of course, keep doing what you're doing. Like the stream, follow on Twitch, subscribe, do all the awesome stuff. Thank you, Vidingale. Appreciate it. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for modding the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. We'll be back tomorrow again. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern time. See ya! Appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome to hang out on the Discord. There's going to be another movie event for sure. I'm trying to get it together, but yeah. All right, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.